Okay, well, I would also like to get a check on what the next series is throwing up as far as the trend is concerned, because you don't get a fair estimate of anything on expiry day itself. There's quite a bit of volatility, but I'll come to that in a bit. First, let's invite our next guest on the show. Mayuresh Joshi of Angel Broking is also with us. Mayuresh, hi, morning. The theme of the last fortnight has been the monsoon-related stocks. We just heard from the IMD that in the month of July as well, they're forecasting 107% of long period average, so good monsoons. What are the stocks that you would buy now incrementally?
Morning, Sonia. Again, I think if the monsoons are better as the IMD forecast has come out, my own take is that the consumption story probably should continue the way it has been over the past few weeks and quarters. Consumption probably is languishing if you look at the last 2 years' performance in terms of how the volume growth has been, specifically from the consumer durable segment, the consumer staples as well. So I think a whole host of activities can probably happen out here. Take an instance the case of Dabur. The volume growth over the past so many years has been exceptional in good times. In the last 2 years since the monsoons have failed, the volume growth has crippled for the company. So the expectations of good monsoons along with the Europe or the pay commission recommendations coming through, my own sense is that the volume growth can actually show an uptick of 2 to 3% over the next 2 to 3 years. If that probably happens, I think with improved realizations, the volume activity can actually pick up, and that can have a substantial amount of earnings growth for a whole host of these companies. So consumer staples is something that can really do well. Two-wheelers can do well. Paint stocks, for instance, with a lot of repainting demand expected to come through, the volume growth should probably sustain. You might have seen some amount of input cost inflation coming through the past few weeks, but again, I think the operating benefits with greater realizations and volumes improving should probably take earnings higher. So my own take is consumer staples, two-wheelers, paint stocks should do really well over the next 12 to 18 months.
Okay, well, that's the monsoon theme. Another discussion I wanted to have with you was on PSU banks, but I'll let you listen to a conversation that we're going to have with State Bank of India, because a lot of brokerages are now getting bullish on that stock. In fact, Deutsche Bank has just written a note where they say that SBI is their preferred PSU bank pick, and it's the only PSU bank that has been gaining market share, especially on the retail front. VG Kannan, the MD of SBI, joins us now.
Well, let's move on and get some more trading ideas in our segment Super 6.
My first recommendation today is buy on IGL. The stock has seen good amount of long positions getting built in June series. Rollovers are positive. The stock has seen swing high being made yesterday. It's trading above the short-term averages. Monday indicators are strong. One can have a stop loss of 6.8 and go long in the stock for target of 640 and above.
First buy recommendation is on GDL. One can buy GDL for a target of 324 with a stop loss of 307. The stock has been forming a good high tops and high bottom on its weekly charts. The indicators are well into the buy mode. And with this kind of a support at the moving averages and a good reversal in yesterday's trading session clearly indicates that the recent highs will again be revisited. Hence, we recommend to buy GDL for a target of 324 with a stop loss of 307.
My first stock call for the day will be a buy on SKS Microfinance, which broke out very decisively in yesterday's trade, and I expect for the momentum there to continue. I think the stock can be bought with a target of 760 and with a stop loss at 705.
My second recommendation today is a buy call on Just Dial. The stock has seen good amount of short positions. Exhaustion in the short side is clearly evident. 595, 600 is a very strong support on an immediate basis. One can have stop loss of 585 and play for targets of 650 in the stock.
The second buy recommendation is on Thiru Sugars. One can buy Thiru Sugars for a target of 110 with a stop loss of 90.50. Well, this stock seems to have completed its three-wave corrective pattern, and the move prior to a corrective pattern was a clear impulse move, that is a five-wave rising structure. Now, I think the retracement of his previous move is over with this three-wave declining structure, and the next five-wave rise has begun. So one can buy Thiru Sugars for a target of 110 with a stop loss of 90.50.
My second pick will be a buy on JSW Steel. The stock has been an outperformer throughout, and it's broken out afresh on its daily as well as on its weekly charts. It can be picked up at the current levels with a stop loss at 1410 and a first target of 1500.
we are heading into what looks like a good morning of trade. So the SGX Nifty is at the high point. Let's get a quick check on what's happening in the derivatives market this morning. Mangalam Malu is here with futures now. Very important to track that market today because it's expiry. Mangalam, over to you.
Indeed, Sonia, and in expiry you always look at the options and that data tells you something about the markets. An interesting cues coming in ahead of the expiry. So the FI has bought about 700 crores in index options. Majority of that was on account of buying long positions in index puts in case the markets were to crack, but that doesn't look like it's happening because the FIIs saw some short covering in index calls as well, and the 8200 mark saw the maximum amount of short covering. So while we can see an upside, also keep in mind that 8260 to 8270 could be a bit of a resistance considering the maximum open interest is the 8300 June call, a level that has held the maximum open interest for almost throughout this series itself. So one gets the sense that the expiry could be between 8250 as well as 8300 itself. So look at individual stocks. The two stocks that were buzzing around quite a bit yesterday, HDIL as well as DLF, now they've come out of the FNO ban in today's trading session, so watch out for some incremental action there. Two stocks that have gained throughout the series, AB Nuvo has gained 13% this month, this series itself. High rollovers seen there, while Kane India has lost about 6-7% this month. High rollovers seen there, so expect some weakness in in Kane India and some strength in AB Nuvo. Short covering seen on names like Bosch and Hero MotoCorp, so expect some strength there. Whereas individual stock options, there we can see some strength in SKS Micro because the 740 call saw some massive premium addition and in the open interest, and at the same time the premium was up 17 times on the 740 call of SKS Micro. Tata Motors, some strength seen there as well because yesterday we saw the 450 put being sold and the premium was down 56%. And finally Vedanta, after the move that we saw in the last 2 hours of trade, we saw some writing at the 125 put, so expect that stock to see some strength as well.
Okay, Mangalam, thanks a lot for that. Manoj Muralidharan of Religare Securities is with us now. Manoj, hi, good morning. Expiry day, any strategy that you have on the index, either the Nifty or the Bank Nifty?
Good morning, Anuj. Yes, we have strategies for both of them, and I guess Mangalam is doing a fabulous work here, because he was almost precise with all the data that he has given on the index option, what the FIs have been doing. Now, the only thing that I'd like to say, Anuj, when we started this contract of June, we had an open interest of somewhere close to 1.94 in the Nifty, and now the July contract is around 1.14. So we have close to 70 odd lakhs if you have to match the rollovers, which is around 74%, which happened last month. Same goes with the Bank Nifty, it is around 5 odd lakhs in terms of open interest. Now, like Mangalam said, 8,300 is a strike where there is highest built up which is happening into the call side. But ideally there is a concept of VWAP, which is a volume weighted average price, which generally works on the day of expiry. Now what we have found it, FIs, if you see Anuj, last 4 days, that is T-4 to expiry, they are selling in the cash market, and there is some stock future selling as well. So net there is a reverse arbitrage, there is some money which is being pulled up. It is only yesterday there was some bout of buying in the cash market, and the stock future was a buy of 366 crores, and that is exactly, we have seen the breadth in the market was very positive. Now there are close to 38 odd stocks in the Nifty where we feel there is a good amount of long position which might not get rolled into today's trade. So we are expecting some profit booking at 80 to 80 levels from the Nifty, and we are expecting that it might be a gradual grinding on the downside. We are expecting 80 to 10. So the strategy here is buy an 80 to 50 put option for the current month. Yesterday's close is around 38.40 I guess, but you will get it around 10 odd rupees. That is when you buy that, no stop loss on that, and the target is 50 rupees. The same strike you can do is 8,500 July call option can be sold at 60 rupees, stop loss of 80 and a target of 30. Same goes to the Bank Nifty. You buy a 17,800 put option between 20 to 25, no stop loss, and we are expecting a target of 100 rupees on that.
Okay, we'll come to you for some individual stock ideas as well, Manoj, but that in a bit. For now, let's look at one theme that's playing out with the 7th pay commission hike getting passed by the cabinet. A lot of these consumption plays are looking quite good. We have two gentlemen who join in. Vinod Agarwal of Volvo Eicher will talk about the commercial vehicle space, and Kevin Disa, the President Finance at Bajaj Auto, joins in now to talk about the two-wheeler space and the impact that we would see. Gentlemen, morning to both of you.
Let's get back to markets because it's going to be a really strong start. At this point in time, the SGX Nifty is indicating that we'll have a start clearly somewhere around the 80 to 60 mark. Ashwini, what about real estate names? DLF had a phenomenal rally. In fact, it's been a one-way rally for DLF from 90 to 145 now. And other real estate stocks have also done well. Do you get a sense that this could be start of something big?
Well, the way real estate index overall has moved, I think it's in a fairly strong bull market of its own, and probably one of the stronger indices. It's got a huge way to catch up in terms of previous highs. So all declines seems to be getting bought. And even when results are not so good, like SOBA, etc., SOBA has gone up 25% the last 6 months, while bad results were getting declared. So when stocks move up, even on bad news, chances are there is, from underweight, people are probably increasing their weight on the real estate stocks.
Okay, well, the pre-opening rates are kicking in now. They are flat to positive, so we'll wait for them to adjust. But there are a couple of stocks that are looking good. Hindalco has just seen an upgrade, so that stock is up in the green. Asian Paints, that was one of the stocks that Sudarshan was recommending. That's up almost 1.5%. SBI has been the preferred PSU bank for a lot of brokerages, so that one is up almost 1.5%. And on the downside, not too much to complain about. Names like Z Entertainment, IndusInd Bank, perhaps just some amount of profit taking. That's the opening on the rupee, by the way. 67.55 is where the rupee has opened. Not bad, because 67.67 is where we closed yesterday. So largely stable, the rupee today.
12 paise strength. Clearly, 68 looks like a bit of a near-term bottom now, and the market is moving on. So 67.55 is what we have as far as the rupee opening is concerned. Just a word on some of the other stocks which are quite active right now. Let's pull out Reliance Communications. Actually, that will also be an important stock. It's out of the F&O ban on expiry day, so that's interesting. That stock is up 2.5% in pre-open. The Nifty rate is bizarre because of Reliance. That will correct. Now up about 49 points on the Nifty. And Just Dial is going to be an interesting stock. It was one of the shorting ideas from Sudarshan, and that stock, of course, has been quite weak. Tata Motors and the DVR are something that we'll be watching out for as well. Talking about currency opening, we have Samir Goyal of Deutsche Bank now joining us on the phone line from Singapore. Samir, good morning. So quite a bit of stability in the currency market. Where do you see the next move? Okay, Samir, thanks a lot for your time today. So that's the view on currency. 67.55 on the rupee. It's been strong, of course. A lot of currencies have come back. Some of them, like pound, still much below the Brexit levels, but that, of course, is more impacted currency. But let's now move on to that big story that's flashing on your screen, and this could be one of your big stocks of the day, Uttam Galva. We learned from sources that it may soon be put on the block. In fact, Nigel D'Souza and Ritu Singh, who have been working on this story now, both join us.
People may want to exit when they get the chance, and some people may want to keep it risky. But for now, the market is suggesting that the start will be on the green side for sure. Remember, 82.70 was the level from which we started receding post that Brexit crisis, and we have now come back to that level of 82.70. At least that's what the SGX Nifty is suggesting. 1 minute more to go. So Ashwini, give us your 9:14 call. What would be your top pick for the day?
See, Muthoot Finance, that's a buy with a stop of 282, target of 298.
Okay, that's Muthoot Finance. That stock has done quite well. Sudarshan, any stock that you would want to back in terms of your top conviction call right now?
It's not a top conviction, but I would be looking to buy State Bank of India. That's a stock that's come out of a congestion, a bear market, and is likely to outperform.
Okay, so we have about 50 seconds to go before the market opens for the day. Hindalco could be the big mover on the back of that brokerage upgrade coming in. And Dr. Reddy is one stock that has been gaining quite a bit of ground. That too is topping the charts now. Prakash, any quick ideas that you'd want to give us just before market opens?
I think Infosys, that looks good to me. The way it looks like a spring action up here possible. So I think I will look at Infosys.
Okay, Infosys, the CNX IT did make a comeback, and keep that list ready as well in terms of stocks that have not done well this series, especially in the post-Brexit era, and you will see some of them maybe seeing a bit of a short covering. So let's see how things react. For now, it looks like Hindalco will be your top gainer. It's been the top gainer for the month. Up about 16% this month. This year it's up 44%, and looks like it's going to add some more to that. That's the market opening. Let's first look at the Nifty levels. 82.56, 82.55, so not as strong as the pre-open indicator, but getting there now. 82.57 is what we have on the index. 82.60 is here now, so it will be interesting to see if we have any more short covering going forward. SBI is your stock of the moment at this point in time. Actually, that stock is up 2%. Hindalco is of course gaining more, but SBI is a bigger stock, so that's why I pointed that out first. ICICI Bank as well, up 1.5%. Dr. Reddy's has done well, that's up about 1.5% as well. Tata Motors up 1%, Bosch up 1.3%, Idea Cellular up about 1%, HUL, Mahindra and Mahindra, HDFCR, among other stocks, up 1%. Asian Paints, which was on buy list of two of our experts, that's also up about 1%. TCS is up about 1%. The Nifty now at 82.62. Suffice to say that it's open somewhere around 82.60 and is consolidating in that area. Some more names: Bank of Baroda, Aurobindo Pharma, Eicher Motors are your other prominent gainers. But really, in terms of stocks that stand out in first trades in the index, it has to be Hindalco up 2% and SBI, which is up about 1.5%. 50 on 50 actually, all the Nifty stocks are in the green. That's remarkable. Not a single loser right now. Ambuja Cement is flat, but otherwise everything else is in the green. And Power Grid has made a new 52-week high, and BPCL of course a new lifetime high, so that continues. And Sonia, it's again mid caps, they've been having a party, and today it's in line with the large caps.
Oh yes, it's a very good opening, Anuj, 0.6% higher. The advance decline ratio is solid at 8:1 in favor of the advances. The pocket that's looking quite good today is the sugar space once again. No surprises there. You have names like Renuka, Balrampur Chini, Ugar Sugar, Dhampur all looking good. By the way, Uttam Galva is the other big stock of the day, 13% higher on that one. As you just heard, a CNBC TV18 exclusive that Uttam Galva could be on the block, and now that stock is inching up higher, 4 rupees higher in trade today. Apart from that, you do have a lot of auto ancillaries that are picking up pace today. Sona Koyo, Subros, Minda Industries, Rico Auto. So this space has once again come back into the buyers list. As you can see, 4-5% gains on all of these stocks, and stocks like India Cements continue to hit new highs. In fact, talking about new highs, you have Escorts, Muthoot Finance, JSW Steel, IGL, Triveni Engineering and Shrey Infra. These are stocks that have been hitting fresh 52-week highs, and they continue that today. Let's look at some losers as well. South Indian Bank is just slightly under pressure, but that's it. Very few and far between in terms of losers, mostly on the winning side. The market opening has been solid today. Ashwini, come in on this 82.60 now on the Nifty. We have pretty much recovered all of what we lost on Brexit Day. How should you approach it?
See, basically, as long as, this opening gap, half of it sustains 82.35, 82.40, you should continue to buy the dips, and chances are you will get fairly close to 82.80, 8300. But as I said that, the bullishness is only for the day. We'll have to see what happens at 8300, 8350.
Okay, the bullishness is only for the day, so Ashwini still doesn't seem to be convinced. But, we have, the fact of the matter is that we have recovered all of what we lost. And it's not only the frontliners, but it's a very broad-based participation that you're seeing.
Yeah, I think 2 points. Ashwini's point is well taken. At the end of the day, the recent evidence of last 1 month is, Sonia, that, if you buy in this zone, you are taking a risk. The market keeps coming back to 82.70 and keeps going back towards 8,000 or 80.50. And again at 80.50, the risk reward was not good for you to take a fresh shot. So this is a range bound market in which at higher end you got to maybe book profit, and at lower level you go to buy. And in that, the mid caps have done well, phenomenally well. That's of course a different zone altogether. In fact, I think the mid-cap index at some point in July could actually go to 52-week high. Who would have thought that was possible in the month of February? So that's the way to play this market. For me, I think I'll be watching out for the 8300 call and 8250 call, because that's where a lot of action would be in today's trade. Going by the last series evidence, of course everything may not play out as per the last series, but 8261 is what we have right now. The 8290 was the high for the series, so let's see if we go towards that. But a word from Manoj as well on market opening and stocks to trade. Manoj?
Yeah, Anuj, like I was saying, this is expiry day, so a lot of things depend on what the entire June contract has given the traders, and if they wish to carry it positive on the upside. And obviously, there is a concern of the roll cost, which is your aspect of money for the P-notes, because especially as you are talking about the USD INR pair, for them the break even I guess would be somewhere close to 67.35 in terms of the cost of the derivative money which has come into this contract of June. So I believe yes, 80 to 80 odd might be the top, and for the bank nifty it might be closer to 17,880 to maybe a 920. But then I'm expecting some intraday grinding to come in. The last 30 minutes of the trade, that is your volume weighted average price, it starts from 3, might be a short covering, especially from the bank. So that might culminate, and the expiry might be closer to an 80 to 30 odd. The intraday low can be an 80 to 100 or an 80 to 10. Stock specific, we like Adani Power, and this is on the basis of EVAP. We have seen the net open interest which is yet to be rolled with a cash delivery that has happened. So Adani Power at 30.45 with a stop loss of 29.20. We recommend buying that. So the target should be somewhere close to a 33. Torrent Pharma. Anuj, I would like to say this. The CNX Pharma index have actually bottomed out, and we feel the index can go all the way to 11,860. So obviously there are two stocks like Lupin and Cipla which are absolutely can give you good return in the long run, which might be a quarter's time. But as of now, because it is expiry, we like Torrent Pharma. The strategy here is to buy at 1350 target, stop loss of 1320, and we're expecting a target of 1430 on that.
Okay, Manoj, thanks for joining us and giving us all of those stock ideas. By the way, the market is in a very interesting juncture now. The range so far has been 7,900 on the downside to 8,300 on the upside, and now we are back flirting with the upper end of the trading range. So in just moments from now, we will get you two very big technical bull voices, Atul Suri on the domestic technicals and Lawrence Belanco on the global technicals, to tell you how to approach the markets here on. So stay tuned for that. But while we do that, let's get some quick calls once again from our guests. Sudarshan, one space that's looking very good right now is the auto ancillary space. Sona Koyo, Subros, Minda, Amtech Auto, Rico Auto. Anything that you like from that space that one can trade?
Well, it should be good, but Sonia, it's your really area. I haven't tracked any of these stocks. It would be unfair. The themes that I'm liking are real estate, and I think real estate is a buying opportunity across the board.
Okay, real estate is buying opportunity across the board. Ashwini, you've seen the first 7 minutes of market opening. Any F&O stock or non-F&O stock that looks good to you for day trade?
See, again, real estate had started well, sugar has started well, so probably for the day you go with India Bulls Real Estate and Hindalco. Both of them are showing strength, are in strong uptrends, but overall the buying should be done at a probably 15-20 point dip on the Nifty, because you are clearly in a zone where great resistance is there. So if you get closer to 82.35, 40, that would be a much better place to buy.
Okay, 82.58 for now. So Ashwin is saying wait for a dip towards maybe 82.35 thereabout. Don't be in a hurry to buy, because this is the zone in which the market has failed also this month, by the way. Mayuresh, real estate, that's something we're discussing just right now. It's clearly in a bull market, everything doing well, but any names that you would want to back at current levels?
Again, I think one really needs to have a look at this space from a long-term horizon, and what we've probably seen in terms of their pre-sale guidance for FY17, take the instance of Soba for that matter, has been quite similar to what FY16 was. So pre-sales were around 2,000 odd crores, 3.5 million square feet. The new launches have received a good response, specifically outside the Bangalore area. So my own take is that Soba is attractively priced at this point of time. The operational performance has been weak. But again, I think any declines onto these stocks with expectations of operating efficiencies kicking in and the expectations of FY18 being much better in terms of their pre-sales guidance going ahead with improvement in demand coming through, I think this is one stock that can be looked at. And Mahindra Life Spaces is something that I've liked for a period of time. My own take is that their sales execution is much better, which probably gives it the advantage of probably revenue recognition, improved cash flows. They're sitting on a very decent land bank, and valuation is also not expensive at this point of time.
All right, Mayuresh, thanks a lot for that. Well, before we go to Atul Suri, who joins us in our studio, earlier we spoke with a bullish global technical voice.